Okay, so Sagittarius Ascendant, what's going on for you in this season? So what I'm really looking at here is a forecast of two sides. There's quite a bit going on. So in one of these sides, I'm looking at the new moons of this season and then the full moons. You'll notice that all the new moons are on one side, all the full moons are on the other side. That happens all the time. That is the normal pattern. So the new moon is when the moon catches up with the sun. Moon is obviously going around and around, then it catches up with the sun because the sun's also moving in this direction. So the sun goes into the sign of Cancer, Leo and Virgo in this month ahead, from the 20th of June right the way through to the 22nd of September. Yep. And then it goes into the next season. Meanwhile, the moon does one lap, 2 laps, that's where the new moon is, and a 3rd lap, that's that new moon. Now, when the moon comes up in the other side, it goes into an opposition with the sun. That's what's known as a full moon. There's another full moon and another and another. You'll see there's 2 in the sign of Capricorn. That is worth paying attention to. But anyway, I will be talking about this and also these points here, which is marking on the Mercury retrograde. So where I want to start then is to give you a bit of an understanding of what you've been working on and what came up as the shadow to that, and what that's leading to you to now to work on, and the potential shadow of what might come up in this month ahead, and then talk in terms of the new moons, full moons. So hopefully it'll give you quite a complete forecast and give you a really good idea. I'll also be touching on the opportunity of the situation and the true gift. I'll be popping that in at the end. So let's get cracking. So where you've been, literally the last season started at the start of the astrological new year. It started on the 20th, 21st of March, according to where you are in the world. And, you know, it's when the sun went into the sign of Aries, and it took you right the way round to when we hit the 20th of June. So that was the first season, the first full season of 2024. And during that time, obviously, you've got the North Node and Chiron in the sign of Aries. So the month of March to early April was really, really quite busy, with a lot of healing to do around childhood, romance, sensuality, all sorts of projects and creativity. Now, they don't always sound so connected, but really they're all about joy. And so what I really feel like right now, and this is an ongoing thing, because the true gift of this North Node is going to be in this part of your chart really until the end of the year. This is all about finding joy. And I think that's what you started at the start of this astrological new year. It was like, how can I experience more joy through my children, through my life, through my sensuality, my romance, my sense of curiosity about the things I love doing and creating. So it's a really creative energy. And I think it's put a real sort of creative spin on your life. And then it brought in, you know, the weight of all the things that you were doing and creating, brought in a hell of a lot of work to deal with as we came into the Taurus season, you know, when it was just like boom, 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 task, 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 all these things that you'd just committed to that you didn't have a hope in hell's chance of dealing with. And this carries your life, your organization, your money, your home, how you manage your children, how you manage your health, how you manage diet and all that stuff, car insurance, everything. You know, it really is a management place. It's a place of, are you a grown up? Are you able to deal with stuff? Now, the unconscious side of this that's also come into play, and we'd have had full moons in these areas. So for instance, you know, this is about you creating joy for yourself. And, you know, whilst you've been in that place of creating joy for yourself, you've been reminded that it's kind of selfish to create joy for yourself. And actually, isn't it better to understand how to create joy and enjoy joy from a perspective of everyone else? So at some level as well, you've been battling with the idea of, should I collaborate? You know, if I do that, is that better for the overall scheme of things? So it's been interesting. I still think it was important to favor your own creations over some kind of global vision. And then, you know, with the weight of the world on your shoulders, it was also feeling like you were cracking up a little bit, you know, that your mental health was failing a little bit, that you weren't getting enough rest. Maybe your intuition wasn't firing up as much as it usually would. And the old patterns were coming up, like self-sabotage and, you know, these sort of unconscious patterns that stop you in your tracks and stop you from actually being able to organize your life. Now, in the most recent part of the year, things have got really quite crazy with friends and stuff. You know, there's been a lot of emphasis on friends, and then Jupiter coming into the sign of Gemini has really opened things up. There's a lot more potentials with people in your life, which is great. And it has taken the energy off who you are and what your brand is. So, you know, as you're starting this new season, my first question to you is, who are you? Can you remember who you are and what your mission is? Do you still feel like you have paid yourself enough attention? What have you done for yourself recently? These are all the things. You know, I think you've been so busy creating, then trying to manage your creations, and then trying to manage your creations and your pals. I think you've forgotten who you are. So I would say, as you're going into this new season, you need to find some time to check in. Okay. So the next part then, and this is where you're at right now, you know, we're into the June, the June or the Cancer zodiac month. And over this month, there's going to be a lot of things coming to light about shared responsibilities, shared finances, where possibly what you're expecting from your partners to participate in, and what they're expecting of you. I think there's going to be some mismatches. The 8th house is rife with judgments. It's full of shame, blame, guilt, anger, resentment, and like resentment and bitterness. It really sometimes shows us what's really staring us in our face about who we are and what we could absolutely do with resolving somehow. So, you know, at its very best, I think this moment in time is going to give you a sense of what you need to correct about yourself. You know, you may well be putting your values onto your partner in such a way that you have misread the situation, that you feel like, yes, they agreed to what you're proposing, and because they failed by your standards, it's okay to resent them and feel a bit bitter and emboldened to do so. And yet they may well be feeling that towards you as well. So it's a bit of a powder keg. It could ignite, but hopefully it won't, because also this has got a Cancerian energy as well. So, you know, this is also bringing you back to your old family issues, the sort of inherited ones. So whatever you're dealing with right now, know that it's not something that's just come up out of the blue. This is something you've been practicing for a lifetime. This is something to do with your parents, your grandparents. This has been passed down willingly from generation to generation to generation. And so, you know, observe it a little bit, step outside of the fray a little bit in this next month. Now, it's really important that you do that, because I am going to go to the full moon and new moons right now for this month, because we start, you know, I'm recording this on the day of the 22nd, the day of the full moon in Capricorn. And this is really bringing us back to our own values. So where there are expectations that other people are putting on us, you also need to think, well, hang on, what are my values? What's my value here? What am I gifting to this situation? Am I fully appreciated? And if you're not feeling fully appreciated, you might want to start appreciating yourself first. Use that as your go-to, you know, because you need to be able to receive. You need to be able to receive gratitude, receive praise, receive some attention, receive a feeling of generosity. If you can create that feeling of, I'm ready and open to receive a feeling of support, I'm ready to receive a feeling of like reciprocity, then things will start to move a bit faster. But if you're coming like around the time of this full moon, if you're feeling like things aren't fair, and then somebody says, well, okay, now you've made a big old fuss, I'll get this done. And you're like, no, don't come in now. You know, if you're being resentment and you're being bitterness and you're not allowing people to correct the things that you've judged them unfairly for, then this could really blow up. You know, I think the more you receive help and allow help to come in, the easier all of this clears. And then on the 5th of July, this is another opportunity for you to allow more sharing, allow the possibility of a clearing, allow the possibility of an understanding. A psychological step forwards is entirely possible. I think it's great. And then you've got your second full moon in Capricorn on the 21st of July in a conjunction with Pluto, reminding you that maybe Not everyone can do the things they say they're going to do. And you, again, might not want to receive their help. You might want to just do it on your own because it's much easier. But you know what? When you're feeling like you're not appreciated enough, and when you feel like, oh, nobody knows my value, what's the point? You then go into this, I don't deserve the help. And the truth is you really do. So again, ahead of time, when you know this full moon's coming up on the 21st of July, start to accept help, start to ask for help, start to accept help, and play with it. You know, set yourself up to receive help that you maybe don't even need, just to see if you can do it. Because the sooner you get into that reciprocity mindset, things will smooth out. And then, you know, the energy is going into the 9th house, which is very much the Leo season from the 22nd of July to the 22nd of August. And that is about you feeling a much freer. And maybe that freedom that you're feeling has come from the fact that you've asked for the support you need, and then you've been able to receive it in the way that it could be delivered. I mean, it's difficult. You know, if you say, I want to receive this help and I want it this way, and this way, otherwise I'm not going to receive it, you might not end up with many friends. Not many people are going to want to be put over a barrel just to help you. So the more you can accept help in the way that it's really coming to you in a soulful, heartful way, the more free you're going to feel as you're going into this Leo season. And trust me, you really want to feel free with this. The new moon in Leo is giving you this opportunity to learn and grow and to feel like there's things that you're curious about. There's a bit more space for you to learn and share and maybe go and have a break and not be on the back burner doing all the hard work all the time. You might actually get to have some fun. Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, this is actually the 9th house has so much to do with the sign of Sagittarius. It's unreal. It's that Sagittarius is the 9th house. This is your moment to feel a lot more free and a lot more generous and a lot more positive and uplifting. So this is really your moment, I would say. And then, you know, on the 19th of August, the full moon is coming in on the 3rd house, really trying to get you back into your belonging. It's almost saying, look, you're learning too much, you're expanding way too far, you're having way too much fun, you need to come back home or else. So again, what I would plan, if you can remember to do so, is how can you involve your home in your explorations? How can you involve the people around you in the joy that you're experiencing right now? And one of the things that might sort of really bring that on is Mercury retrograde, because at the time of the new moon on the 4th of August, when you're creating all these new ideas and stuff, Mercury just happens to go retrograde from the 10th house back into the 9th. To me, that's an indication that you've been running before you could walk. You've had all these ideas and expansions, and you're already starting to fire off ideas about your next career leap, your next idea to develop, how you're going to stand in the world, your greater sense of status and stuff. And you've already started to get back into business. And the truth is, you're not really ready to get back into business. What you're meant to be doing between July and the end of August is celebrating that feeling of freedom, that's celebrating that feeling of receiving, being a beneficiary of other people's love and care and attention. And you're meant to be creating space for yourself to learn. If you run away from this a bit too soon, you're going to miss the point. You're going to miss the party of fun. And so this Mercury retrograde is actually bringing you back to your senses, bringing you back into the fun, so that you don't miss out. So just around the 19th of August, just remember to have some fun around the people that have been supporting you this time. Allow them in. Now, as you go into the last month of this season, you're in the 10th house. You know, the sun, it goes in on the 22nd of August and takes you right through to the 22nd of September. During this time, your attention is absolutely on the sum total of your experience so far and how it's grown you in magnitude. You're a lot more confident. You feel a lot more expanded. You feel a lot more free. In fact, because you've given yourself so much freedom and opportunity to think and be and breathe and just to feel great, that has automatically kind of risen you up. It's almost like it's given you a bit of a glamour, you know, because you've been quite relaxed about things. People have been seeing you and thinking, well, this person must have everything under control. This person must feel pretty marvelous because they're giving themselves the gift of freedom. They're giving themselves the gift of learning and curiosity and possibility. So you look like somebody that must not have things to worry about. And so instantly that is raising your profile. Instantly that's creating more attention. At a time when, if you want to ask for a pay rise, if you want to start a new thing, if you want to launch something, this is the best time to do it. In particular, around the new moon in Virgo on the 3rd of September is a perfect time to launch something. You know, it's absolutely feeding into the top of your chart. It's absolutely giving you the sense that there is a new start for you. One last thing I want to say is on the 18th of September, a couple of weeks later, we've got the full moon, and it's also the first of the second eclipse season. So it's the first eclipse of the second eclipse season of this year. I did do a very full eclipse season video earlier this year, which might be useful to listen to if you want to know more about that. But this particular full moon in Pisces is quite a big one. It's quite confusing as well. There's a lot of subtle manipulations going on with this, because you know the full moon is also in a conjunction with Neptune, and Neptune's right at the end of Pisces. You know, in the next year, it's going in and out of Aries, you know, so this is a pretty big full moon in the conjunction with Neptune. It's bringing up deceptions, it's bringing up manipulations, and it's launching itself in your 4th house. So whilst you're feeling magnificent and moving on and feeling quite great, to me, it feels like there's some pressures from home, and they look like pressures and they might come across as legitimate pressures from your family and stuff. But you might want to look out for the language behind it. You might want to look out for what's really going on. It's not quite as straightforward as you might think. So there you go, Sagittarius. The last thing I want to just talk about is the gift of this season and also your opportunity. So the opportunities, I think all of your opportunities right now are coming from your contacts. Now, whilst I did say earlier, it feels like your contacts have taken up center stage and you might have forgotten who you are. That's why in this season ahead, it's really important that you examine what it is you want to bring about, give yourself that gift of freedom and really, really embrace it. And then allow your new level of career expression to come to play. You know, when you give yourself that beautiful time, the contacts that are coming into your life are really going to be people that give you opportunities to expand yourself. If you're not expanding yourself in this season, then the gift of Jupiter here is there are people that are going to be coming in with lots of ideas, but they might not be really helping you. They might just be ideas for ideas' sake. So really allow yourself to evolve, really give yourself the space to grow and the space to become a new possibility. Really allow that, and then you'll magically find that the opportunities coming in are so much more aligned to who you are. The last thing then, the true gift, I think, that you've been working through, all of this really is about feeling more joy. And yes, you've been busy. You've certainly experienced what it's like to be busy beyond belief. And you've absolutely needed to get some respite from that. And that's been really, really good. I think what you're really learning here is that when you give to yourself, all of a sudden life starts to gift you back. And so all of your creations just get that much more strong, get that much fresher, get that much more exciting. So if you learn anything from this time in 2024, Sagittarius Ascendant, let it be that you are going to gift yourself time to mull things over, gift yourself time so that something else comes up. If you book yourself silly with appointment, nothing new can come in. Give yourself space, and trust me, something really great is going to drop right in your lap. Anyway, lots of love to you. Have a great season ahead. If I can be of any help, then you know how to reach me. Bye for now.